In the last class, I was talking about Eulerian graphs and Euler circuit. So, what was an Euler circuit? A circuit that contains all the edges of the graph exactly once, right? And by the definition of a circuit, the starting vertex and the ending vertex must be same. So, such a circuit is called as an Euler circuit, and a graph containing an Euler circuit is called an Eulerian graph. So, we saw a necessary and a sufficient condition to be Eulerian, okay, but the thing that we did not see was that how to find the Euler circuit. The theorems, the necessary and the sufficient conditions gave you a way to determine whether the graph is Eulerian or not, but it did not give you any hint or any way to how to find the Euler circuit. Okay, so let's see some more examples. So consider this graph. Let us consider this graph. Okay, so let me consider this graph having 6 vertices and some number of edges. So let me name the vertices. Suppose v1, e1, v2, e2, v3, e3, e4. Here I'm writing v4, v5, e5, e6, e7, e8, v4, v5, v6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there are 8 edges and 6 vertices. Now the question is the graph G Eulerian? So just by looking at the graph, you can tell me. Your first task is to count, see the degrees. Degree 2 even number, degree 2 even number, degree 4 even number, degree 2 even number, degree 1, 2, 3, 4 even number, degree even number. Since the degree of every vertex is an even number, so by the necessary condition of the last theorem that we did, necessary and sufficient condition that we did, this graph G is Eulerian. So write some justification why it is Eulerian, because degree of every vertex is even, and that is the actual reason for to be an Eulerian graph. Now, if it is an Eulerian graph, you must be able to find an Euler circuit. So let us find an Euler circuit. So let me do it like hit and trial method. Like I'll just simply find an Euler circuit. Let's see whether I'm able to find it or not. So let's see if I start from V1. You can start from any vertex. Yes, I can find possibly, no? So let me take this one. So consider this circuit C. I'm starting from V1, going up to E1, going then V2, then E2, then V3, then E3, then V4. So I have traveled like this, like this, like this. I reached here. Okay. So now let me go like this. So the vertices can be repeated. So E4 and V2, then like this, E7, V5, okay, like this, E5, V4, E5, V4, and like this, that means E6, V6, and lastly E8, V1. E8V. So this is an Euler circuit in G. So you could have started from any other vertex as well, because this is a circuit. You could have started at V4 and ended at V4. You can do that. Okay, so did you understand my point? So now I did not tell you any method to find an Euler circuit. This is just by trial. Okay, this is just by trial. I tried and I was able to find an Euler circuit. But there is some rule or some algorithm to find the Euler circuit, which I will teach you next. So let me take another example. Let me take this graph. Consider the graph H, suppose. And this graph looks something like this. So it has got some parallel edges. Looks like a rocket. Okay. So this graph I am talking about. Let me give the name or some. I'm just giving it randomly for the timing. V2, V3, E3, V4, E4, V5, E5, V6, E6, V7. This edge is E7. This edge is E8. This is V8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, V6, V7, V8. Okay, that's all right now. The 8 vertices and edges E8, E9, suppose E10 and suppose E11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 2, 3, 4, 5. I can only see 7 vertices. Why is it so? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. Okay, I have named it twice. Yes, I have named this twice. Sorry. So V3, V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. This will be V6. This is V7. Okay. So the question is this graph H Eulerian? So you answer me this very quickly. Is this graph H Eulerian or not? So the graph H is Eulerian. The fact again follows from the theorem that we have done in the last class. The degree of every vertex is an even number. And you remember loop always contributes 2 to the degree. So this is also even. So due to that fact, H is Eulerian. Okay, good enough. Now you can justify why H is Eulerian. Now you have to find an Euler circuit. So is there any specific rule of finding an Euler circuit? Yes, there is one. But you see, you can also do it by hit and trial method. You try to find an Euler circuit by like I did in this case. But for this case, what I'll do, I'll try to teach you a rule or an algorithm, which is sometimes called as an Fluidy's algorithm, I guess. But I'm not going into the names and all, because I'll just tell you how to find an Euler circuit without going into much details. So what does that rule says, or the algorithm says? You start with any vertex. Suppose I'm starting at V1. So select any vertex. The choice is completely arbitrary. It is not like you have to always start with V1. You can start with any other vertex. So I am choosing V1. Select any vertex V1 and consider this circuit. Consider the circuit. So with this V1, you find a circuit. Suppose I am calling this circuit as C1. So you find a circuit that starts at V1 and ends at V1. It may not contain all the edges. Okay, so suppose I am taking this circuit into consideration. So I have obtained a circuit which starts at V1 and ends at V1. This is E10, no? E10, and this is V7, and then E11, and then V1. V1, E1, V2, E10, V7, E11, V1. So I have found a circuit starting at V1 and ending at V1. But this is not an Euler circuit because it does not contain all the edges of the graph. So we will try to make this circuit big. That means it contains all that, it may contain all the edges. Now the next rule is, you choose a vertex from this circuit. You choose a vertex from this circuit leaving V1. So you could choose V2, you could choose V7. The choice is completely yours. So you choose now the next vertex, which is from this circuit that you have chosen. So leaving V1. So you can choose V2 or you can choose V7. Suppose I am choosing V2 now. Now with this V2, you have to find a new circuit starting at V2 and ending at V2. But remember, the vertex that you are choosing should be from this circuit. You cannot take V6 because V6 is not present here. So you can choose V2, you can choose V7, the choice is yours. So now I am choosing V2. So I will write a bit later. So I will just write choose a vertex V2. Suppose I am writing it here only. So choose a vertex, choose the vertex V2. So now I am choosing the vertex V2, which must be present in C1. Now try to find a circuit starting at V2 and ending at V2, but should not use this brown edges. So suppose I am taking this. Suppose I am taking this. Suppose I am taking this. And suppose I am taking this. So I have got a circuit starting at V2 and ending at V2. Okay, so what is the name of the circuit? Let me note it down. So let me write down the name of this circuit. Suppose I am calling that circuit as C2. So then what is C2? Starting from V2. So V2 to V7 via E9. Then E8, V6, E6, V3, E2, V2. So I have obtained a circuit. I have obtained a circuit starting at V2 and ending at V2. With the help of this circuit, form a circuit. So this is interesting. Form a circuit, this. So form a circuit. Suppose I am calling that circuit as C3. So what is this circuit? Now it is very interesting. Try to understand my point. What I will do, my circuit C2 starts at V2 and ends at V2. So instead of this V2, I will write here the circuit C2. So my new circuit will be V1, E1 and the circuit C2. So V1, E1 and like this and like this. So with the help of these two circuits, what I am doing, so my circuit C1 was this and circuit C2 was this. What I am doing, I am merging them. That means this and this. That means instead of V2, I will write down whole C2. That means V1, E1, C2 and then I will continue this. So V1, E1, it was V2, so instead of V2 I write C2. That means I am supposed to write whole thing. V2 to again V2, that doesn't change anything, right? So C1, E1, instead of V2 I will write the C2. Then after C2, you continue what was there. So by the end of C2, we have again reached V2 and then you can continue from here. So E10, V7, just a minute, E10, V7, E11, V1. Sorry, E11, hold on. So did you get my point? Now I have a new circuit, V1, V2, E9, this. But still this circuit does not contain all the edges of the graph. So now I will form a new circuit that contains one of these vertices. So V1 and V2 are used. So I can V7 cannot be used now because all the edges have been covered from V7. So I will use either V3 or V6 one by one. Suppose I am using V3. Now consider this circuit. This, and V3 I'll put in place of V3. So V3, E3, V4, E4, V5, E5. So next form. So choose V3 and form a circuit. Suppose C4. So I'm starting with V3, E3, V4, E4, V5, E5, V3. Suppose this was the thing, no? V3, E3, V4, E4, V5, E5, and again V3. Now form C5 like this. The C5 is what? So what was C5 basically? What you do? You can now write in place of C2, and in place of C2, what you replace? You replace V3 by this C4. That means, what is this? V1, E1, and I am now writing C2. That means V2, E9, V7, E8, V6, E6. Instead of V3, you will write whole of this, or for the timing I am writing this as C4. And again E2, V2. So this is your new circuit. Now let's see whether this circuit contains all the edges or no. No, it does not contain all the edges. One edge is remaining. And again, that is very simple. Consider V6 and consider this loop. So V6, E7, V6. So now choose V6. Choose V6 and form C6 like this. V6, E7, V6. So wherever there is V6, you replace by C6. So therefore, suppose I am calling that as C7. It is V1, E1, V2, E9, V7, E8, V6, E6. Sorry. Yeah. So V6. Instead of V6, I am supposed to replace like this. So V6, E7, V6. So instead of V6, I will write C6. I am writing C6. And again I will continue from here. That means E6, and I am supposed to write C4. That is V3, E3, V4, E4, V5, E5, V3. This is C4, and then E2. I made a mistake. This should be, so this was C4. So in C4, what I am doing? V3 to V3. So I am supposed to replace there in C2, no? C3. So in C3, what I am doing? In C3, hold on, I made some slight mistake. Sorry, what I made a mistake here is that after writing C2 here, I have ended here. So after writing C2, I am supposed to write this thing, no? E10, V7, E11, V1. So this is my C6. So I am replacing V6 by C6, and then E6, and then C4. What is C4? I am writing the C4 continuously. And then after C, I am supposed to write E2, V2, E10, V7, E11, V1. So this contains all the edges of the circuit. This is a Euler circuit in H. So you may check, this contains all the edges exactly once, and this algorithm we follow to find an Euler circuit in some graph. So what is an Euler circuit? You have to start from any vertex, cover all the edges exactly once, and then reach to the same point. So that means if you are starting from this vertex, you cover all the edges ... and again the task is to reach here. So that means I am asking you to draw this figure without picking up your pen, and under the condition that you have to end wherever you start. So what is an Euler circuit? That means you have to draw a graph without picking up your pen, and you have to end from where you start. So this is what is known as an Euler circuit. And we saw that in Königsberg-Bridge problem, there was no solution, or the solution does not exist because this is not Eulerian and so on. Now let me give you a weaker condition. That means, like, most of the graphs are non-Eulerian, so let me impose what is called a weaker condition. That means I am again asking you to draw this figure without picking up your pen, but it is not necessary to end at the point where you started. That means you can end somewhere else also, but the condition remains same. You have to start from you have to draw the figure without picking up your pen. Okay, but I am dropping a condition that it is not necessary to end at the point from where you started. So this is what is called an Euler trail. This is what is called an Euler trail. So instead of circuit, now we are dropping it by a trail, a weaker condition. I do not want to start and end at the same vortex. So what is an Euler trail? An open trail. You know the meaning of trail, that has no repetition of edges. Definitely an open trail in a graph is called an Euler trail if it contains all the edges of the graph. So that means, see, a graph which has Euler trail is not called an Eulerian graph. Okay, we are just finding an Euler trail. A graph containing Euler trail has not been given any particular name. Like we know, a graph containing Euler circuit is called an Eulerian graph, but a graph containing Euler trail is not been given a special name. So we call this an Euler trail. So we'll just find Euler trail in some of the graphs, right? So now we might again ask, is it always possible to find an Euler trail in any graph? The answer is again no. You can find some counter examples which does not contain Euler trails. We'll see that later on. So what is the necessary and sufficient condition to contain an Euler trail? That means you start at one vortex, you cover all the edges and end at some another vortex. So this is the necessary and sufficient condition. So this is the next theorem which tells you that a connected graph G contains an Euler trail if and only if. So this is a necessary and sufficient condition. G has exactly 2 odd degree vortices. So this is again very interesting. So my graph G will contain an Euler trail if and only if G has exactly 2 odd degree vortices. So to contain an Euler circuit, degree of all the vortices must be even, and to contain an Euler trail, degree of all the vortices must be even except two of them must have odd degree vortices. So keep one thing in mind, again and again I am telling you, even if your graph contains an Euler trail, we do not call that graph an Eulerian graph. Keep that in mind. We are just reading this topic after Eulerian graph. Okay, we are just taking a weaker condition, but this has nothing to do with the Eulerian graph. So if my graph is Eulerian, I am talking about Euler circuit and not Euler trail. Euler trail is different, Euler circuit is different. To prove this theorem, we will use the theorem already proved before. So what I'll use to prove this theorem, we'll use this fact: a graph is Eulerian if and only if all its degree are of even, all of its vertices are of even degree. We know this fact, the necessary and sufficient condition to be an Eulerian graph. Using this fact, we can easily prove this theorem. Very easy, you see. So consider one thing. Suppose G contains an Euler trail. Let me call this Euler trail as P, and suppose from a vertex U to V. So I'm supposing this condition. That this happens. Suppose this happens. My graph G contains an Euler trail. I'll prove that this will happen. So suppose G contains an Euler trail P from a vertex U to vertex B. So try to understand my point. I'm just drawing this graph arbitrary. So this is U, this is V. So I have this path, this trail that contains all the edges of the graph and then end at V. So remember, this trail P contains all the edges of the graph. Keep that in mind, because that is the definition of an Euler trail. So this P contains all the edges of your graph G. Okay? From a vertex U to another vertex V. This is by definition of an Euler trail. Now what I will do, so this is your graph G somewhat, and this is your trail P. This is just a rough diagram. You are not supposed to draw like this. I am just trying to explain. So this is your graph G. With the help of this graph G, I will make a new graph. Suppose G1. With the help of this graph G, I'll make a new graph. Suppose G1. By adding a new edge between U and V. Now, this trail was from U to V, and if I take this edge here, so I have now got a Euler circuit from U to U. So if I add some edge here, edge E here, which was not there in G, but with the help of that I'm taking a new graph G1, which contains an edge between U and V. So I have a trail which starts at U and ends at V and contain all the edges of G. So I will consider this trail and this edge also. So that means I have got an Euler circuit that contains all the edges of the new graph G1. Did you get my point? I will exactly write all those things what I said. What I'll write? Construct a new graph. G1 by adding a new edge E between U and V. Okay. In G1, the trail P along with the So in G1, the trail P along with this edge E forms an Euler circuit. So in G1, the trail P along with the edge E forms an Euler circuit. Did you get my point? So therefore, G1, new graph G1 is an Eulerian graph. That is the definition of an Eulerian graph. Any graph containing Euler circuit is called an Eulerian graph. So G1 is an Eulerian graph. So by necessary and sufficient condition, therefore, every vertex in G1 is of even degree. So this I know. So every vertex in G1 is of even degree. So this is my new graph G1. This is my new graph G1. Here the degree of every vertex, is even. Now, if I remove this edge to get the graph G back, that means I am reducing the degree of U by 1 and reducing the degree of V by 1. Right? That means the degree of U must be odd and the degree of V must be odd. Am I clear what I said? So, since the edge E contributes 1 to the degree of U and 1 to the degree of V. So therefore degree of U and V in the graph G, not G1, in the graph G must be odd, since G does not contain the edge E. So G does not have edge E. So due to this contribution of E, the degree of U and V were both even. So if I am removing that edge E, so their degree will become odd. So therefore, degree of U and V in the graph G must be odd, and this completes the first part. So if my graph has an Euler trail, then degree of exactly 2 of the vertices must be odd. Conversely, I'll just give you some hints to do it. This conversely, left as an exercise is very easy, I'll tell you. Left as an exercise, very easy. You see how? Again the same concept. So try to understand my point. Conversely, what you suppose? G has exactly 2 odd degree vertices. You have to prove that G contains an Euler trail. So you assume that G has exactly 2 odd degree vertices. Suppose name that as U and V. The degree here is odd and degree here is odd. You have to prove that the graph contains an Euler trail. What you do? You again draw this edge E. Due to the construction of this new edge E, degree of U becomes even and degree of V becomes even, and degree of all other vertices is already even according to the assumption. Only 2 are of odd degree. So I have 2 odd degree vertices. I am naming them as U and V. I am drawing an edge between them. Due to the edge, it is of even degree, and rest all are of even degree, I know. So this graph is an Eulerian graph, as it contains an Euler circuit. So construct the Euler circuit. Suppose there is an Euler circuit from U to U. Now you remove this edge. So you are getting an Euler trail that starts at U and ends at V. Because you are removing this, so you are not able to go from U to U, you are going from U to V, and that is an Euler trail. And hence, your graph contains an Euler trail. Did you get my point? Examples. So call this graph as G. So Rajkamal, is this graph an Eulerian graph? Is this graph an Eulerian graph? Eulerian, I'm talking about Eulerian, okay? Is this G Eulerian? Anyone who can tell me the answer? No. Very good, Rajiv. Rajkamal, not yes. I'm talking about an Eulerian graph. The condition was degree of every vertex must be odd. It is, sorry, even. Degree of every vertex must be even. It is even, but this is odd. So G is not Eulerian, as degree of two vertices are odd. So you cannot tell me, we have a guarantee. So this graph is not Eulerian, as it does not contain an Euler circuit. Why? Because there are two vertices of odd degree. But according to the necessary and sufficient condition, G contains an Euler trail. What was the necessary and sufficient condition for the existence of an Euler trail? It should have exactly two vertices of odd degree, and I have got them. I can see they are exactly two vertices of Euler of odd degree. So let's find an Euler trail. So P, let me call this as V1, V2, V3, V4, E1, E2, E3, E4, E5. So I'm starting from V1. Remember one thing, to find an Euler circuit, you must always start from an odd degree vertex. You cannot find a Euler path, Euler trail from V2. Never. You always start with the odd degree vertex, either V1 or V3. So V1, let me take E1, then V2, let me take E3, V3, right? E2, then V3, E2, and then V3. So I have this. Now let's go back to V1. So E3, V1, and then E4, V4, and then E5. So this is an Euler trail. That means finding an Euler trail means you have to draw this figure without picking up your pen, and I can do that. So we are dropping that extra condition of starting at the same vertex and ending at the same vertex. So now we can recognize all those figures which can be drawn without picking up our pen. So to draw a figure without picking up your pen, so number one condition is it should have either an Euler circuit, or number two, Euler trail. So when will that have an Euler circuit? When degree of all the vertices is odd. That means you can draw the figure without picking up your pen and starting and ending at the same point. And if it contains exactly two odd degree vertices, then also you can draw that figure without picking up your pen, but you can start anywhere and end anywhere. Did you understand my point? Now see, try to understand. You can make this graph Eulerian. How? By constructing an edge between V1 to V3. And this is what I did in the previous theorem. So these two are of odd degree. If I draw an edge connecting V1 and V3, suppose I am drawing this edge connecting V1 and V3, then all of their degree must be an even degree, and hence that will be an Eulerian graph. So from an Euler trail, you can easily construct an Euler circuit by adding one edge to that. You check about the Königsberg bridge problem. You may check whether it contains an Euler trill or not, etc., etc. So in exams, they might ask you some counter examples like this. Draw a graph which contains an Euler trill but not an Euler circuit. This is the graph. Name a graph that contains that contains an Euler circuit but not Euler trill. Okay, and so on. And draw a graph that has neither Euler circuit nor Euler trill. So how will you draw that graph that contains neither Euler circuit nor Euler trill? So when will that not contain an Euler circuit? When you have at least one vertices having an odd degree. And so what you do, what is my point? For this example, you see, let me draw a three-regular graph. This. This is not a vertex, okay? These are the vertices. Is this graph an Eulerian? Is this graph Eulerian? Is this graph H Eulerian? H is not Eulerian. Very good. Why it is not Eulerian? Because degree of all the vertices are odd. So by the necessary and sufficient condition, this is not Eulerian. And H does not contain Euler trill as well. So remember one thing, H will not contain an Euler trill as well, just because to contain an Euler trill you must have exactly two odd degree vertices, but there are more than two odd degree vertices. So this will not even contain an Euler trill. That means you cannot draw this graph without picking up your pen. You have to pick your pen for sure, as guaranteed by the previous theorems. So it is not possible to draw your graph without picking up your pen. Am I clear why this does not contain an Euler circuit as well as an Euler trill? So I got this game in the Play Store, and I have to like draw this graph, or what I mean is you have to just draw the graph that contains, or draw a circuit or a trill that contains all the edges. So first check whether it is possible to draw or not. So it contains an Euler trill if exactly two of the vertices are odd, or it contains an Euler circuit if it contains an Euler circuit if degree of all the vertices is even, and it contains an Euler trill if degree of exactly two vertices is odd. Okay, so let's see, degree is 4, degree is 4, degree is 4, degree is 4, degree is 4. That means this graph is an Eulerian graph. I can find an Euler circuit. Let's see whether I am able to find an Euler circuit or no. So let me check. Definitely I am able to find. I'll be able to find. So I'm not able to go back. Yes, I can find an Euler circuit. Now they will give an add, which is very bad. So look at the next graph that they have given you, and let's see whether it is possible to draw an Euler trill or Euler circuit. So degree 2, degree 2, degree 2, degree 2, degree 2, degree 4, degree 2, degree 2. Again, this is an Eulerian graph. So again, let me start with any vertex. Suppose I'm starting from here. Let me cover this. I have ended here. I'm waiting for some. So basically, if you know the concept of graph theory, okay, you can easily play that game, and that will be very good practice as well for you to determine some Euler circuits and Euler trill. You can go through that. You can try some 25-26 graphs to know. But remember one thing, whenever there is an Euler trill, you have to start from that vertex which are of odd degree. If you start from the vertex that has even degree, you may not be able to find the Euler tree, what I feel. So basically, you can try that game. I have become a pro in that, as I know the theorems and graph theory. You also have become now, I know. You can try that game. So that's all for today. If you want to ask anything, you can ask.